Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to part 2 for the week of April 4th. This is part 1 right here. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, it is linked up in the pinned comment or in the description down below. We're just going to go through here and see with the cat spirit, whatever, you have the red fox spirit, says strategy on it. And so I feel like your strategy should be to just charge forward with that Queen of Wands, plain and simple. Not much of a strategy. I would just like, Queen of Wands, she desires to do something. And that's exactly what I'd be doing. Also, as always, you always get these readings that have like a lot of the glow up cards in it. You have the sun, the Empress here. So, major glow up vibes. What this means to me is I would be doing things that get you positive attention. So it's like in work or business, if you're trying to get a raise, do extra work, do the things that bring more attention to you. Queen of Wands is a card of being seductive, but we can use that energy in a positive way. We can use it to get more attention at work by doing good things, good deeds, extra work, whatever. And by doing that, you can get a raise, a promotion, a new job, whatever. Same thing in love, could be great for getting attention. What do you know? With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Empress. So definitely major glow up vibes here in your reading. A lot of positive attention coming in for you. Something is clearly changing for you with this Empress twice. And I also kind of in your first reading, I was saying that I feel like this is something like a creative project, something that you're creating. It could literally be a creative project. You could also just be creating something new in work or business or in your love life. And so, like I said, anything that you can do that's creative would be very beneficial with that Empress energy. And here you go with the Sun. You have the Star, exactly what I was talking about. So I would definitely be trying to get as much attention on anything that you're doing as possible. If you have a business or anything like that, this is, all this energy is really good for anything having to do with like the aesthetics of the business. Or like how you appear in work or whatever. So if you're like working on your appearance, if you're working on your business's appearance, your job, how you appear in your job, any of those things would be very beneficial for you at this time. I mean, I have a million things popping into my head. I mean, if you're thinking about changing your personality, if you're thinking about changing the way you communicate or anything like that, I feel all those things will be extremely beneficial. This is very forward energy. I would describe this as like first house energy, how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you. This could literally be you, your energy, but it could also be, like I said, your business, your job. Maybe there's a certain way that you speak and you're wanting to change those things. I think people forget that we're allowed to change. People always say to me, change your personality, like as if your personality has to remain the same for your whole entire life. There are things that maybe you want to change. And I feel like anything that you want to do here would be a good idea. And if I can't stress it enough, positive, right? Anything, if you're making a positive change, it doesn't matter if you're changing your personality. It doesn't matter if you're changing your appearance. If, as long as it's a positive change for you, that's exactly what I'd be doing. The interesting thing is, as well, is that the Star kind of represents big picture energy. There's this ibis in the tree back here, and that ibis has the big picture. The ibis can see everything that is going on in the world. And you're like the second or third side in this week that has had something about kind of like seeing the big picture. This could be good. You have that red fox card which says tactics or strategy on it, and I feel like that's very good for like tactics. Like if you're trying to build something, like understanding the big picture is a good idea. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands here. Five of Wands can be conflict and competition. I feel like you could be feeling conflicted at this time. I feel like you need to make sure you don't confuse yourself with the Five of Wands. Again, I'm a Gemini moon, personally, and it's like lately, I've been wanting to get started on some things, but I've definitely been feeling that kind of like overthinking type of vibe. And I'm getting that here on the Five of Wands. So I would be careful of the whole like overthinking things or, telling yourself. I would be careful of stories that you're telling yourself as well. It's like, without knowing the details. Like if you're dealing with a person in love, for example, I wouldn't, I would go directly to the source. There's too much assertive energy here. Whenever I get a reading like this, when I get a reading like this, to me, it says that it's really important that you are like upfront, assertive, straightforward. Like I would get information straight from the horse's mouth, as they say. It's like maybe you're assuming something about your position at work, but maybe you should just talk to your boss instead of like telling yourself a bunch of stories. Same thing in love. Again, I would go directly to the source here. I definitely get that here. I feel like it'll just clear up confusion. As far as taking action is concerned with the Knight of Pentacles as well and the Five of Wands, there really is no good answer other than to take action. Remember, at the end of your first reading, I was saying with the Hierophant that the Hierophant is kind of like a card of mastery, but that last stage, that mastery stage, is about doing the thing that you're trying to do. It's actually about putting it into practice, because you learn more than you ever would from a book by putting something into practice. Like I use the example of YouTube. It's like before I started YouTube, well, I just got started, but it's like if I read a bunch of books about it and I were to take all the information that exists, all the stuff that I've learned from like people, the YouTube experts and things like that, if I were to only use that information, it's like there's so much I wouldn't have figured out along the way. It's like, putting something into practice, there are just some things you can't learn from a book. And I really get that vibe here where it's like that there's nothing wrong with learning from a book, but put it into practice so you can learn the extra stuff, the stuff that you just can't learn from a book. That's the good stuff, right? With the Wombat, you have the Sandpiper Spirit. Says be playful. All these playful cards keep coming up for pretty much everyone. I just think it's a very serious energy time. The energy feels very serious to me. I feel like everybody is very serious about everything. I mean, just watch the news. Well, don't watch the news, but if you watch the news, doesn't matter what side you watch, everybody's so freaking serious, right? I feel like everybody needs to chill out, calm down, play a game, do something, right? And I definitely feel like you need to do that with this energy here. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Strength card. Strength is like a daily practice. Strength is something that we have to do every single day. And it could also be a Leo coming in for you. You've had Leo all up in your business for, I don't know, like a couple of weeks. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a Leo that's coming in for you. Doesn't have to be. Again, take it how it resonates. This is a general reading. The Strength card, I feel, is you pushing past that Knight of Pentacles, because Knight of Pentacles is like the hesitation, like I said, to get started on something that you want to get started on, and feeling like you're not good enough. The Strength card is you saying, no, I am good enough, even though I don't feel like I'm good enough, I'm going to prove it to myself, right? And so I feel like that's what you're doing here. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Four Swords. Do you have the Four Swords twice here? No, but you have the Four Swords. Four Swords is like hoping and praying for blessings, and it's clarifying the Nine of Cups. So there definitely could be a wish or some sort of, you could be manifesting a wish with this energy. With the Three of Cups, you have the King of Cups. The King of Cups, could be a water sign person coming in for you. Pretty crazy. You have the King of Cups on the bottom of the big deck. I didn't even realize that. And you have the King of Cups here. So the King of Cups could be love coming in for you. Really, I'm pretty sure I said in your first reading something about your emotional stability, because again, we are in a very emotional time, I feel, intuitively. I feel like the people that are kind of like able to use their emotions to get the things that they want, people who can channel their emotions, right? I feel like those people are going to be very successful right now because it is a very emotional time. I always like to remind people, it's like, I think we can channel any emotion. The King of Cups, he could be very, very angry, but he doesn't have an angry reaction to things, right? He uses that energy. He understands his emotions, his feelings, whatever it is, anger, happiness, sadness, jealousy, all those things. And he says, okay, this is how I'm feeling. How can I use it? How can I take this energy and turn it into something else? How can I turn it into something constructive? So to me, he is like the most emotionally evolved out of all the tarot, out of all the court cards, right, in the tarot. And that's what I feel like you're doing with this King of Cups energy. You're kind of like looking at certain emotions and saying, how can I use this? Again, no emotional outbursts this year. I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Mars retrograde year, no emotional outbursts. We all just saw what happened with Will Smith. It's like, I said to Aquarius or somebody else, I'm like, Will Smith clearly doesn't watch Minnow Pond Tarot, because if he did, he wouldn't have done what he did if that wasn't staged, right? Or whatever. But, again, emotional outbursts in Mars retrograde years, bad idea, plain and simple. With the Old Man here, or whatever the hell that card is, and the Jug, you have the January card. You also have this Broken Ring card. It says parting of the ways in either romance or business. So you could be kind of leaving something. I think I already talked about this, that it seems to me like you're moving on to something new or creating something new with that King of Pentacles. So I feel a lot of you are kind of like moving on to bigger and better things in general. This could have, for some of you, I feel that the January card is saying that things are going to change significantly in January. cheating, because to me 2023, by the time we get to February, it is like another like major difference in the energy, let's put it that way. So I feel like February there's going to be some big changes as far as energetics are concerned in the universe, and so a lot of you could be kind of like noticing that with this energy. Some of you could be dealing with a separation, or leaving work or starting something new. With the Nine of Swords, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is like King of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords is feeling like something is always going to be the same. King of Pentacles is a card of convention. It's a card of the way things have always been done. My problem with the King of Swords and Nine of Swords is it's like having a nightmare, waking up and still being in a nightmare. So to me, that gives me the vibes of being stuck in a nightmare. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you here, Gemini. And so what I feel like this is saying is that you need to break out of this. How do we break out of the King of Pentacles? Well, King of Pentacles is like a dinosaur. It's like something that needs to die, basically, on the negative side of things, right? So King of Pentacles, we need to innovate. We need to try new things. We need to do things differently. We need to keep up with the technology as well with the King of Pentacles. This could be in love, could be in business, definitely. King of Pentacles always reminds me of Blockbuster. Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore, right? Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix and they didn't. So, because they didn't keep up with the technology, basically. So, the King of Pentacles to me is a card of like needing to innovate, especially if it's coming up with the Nine of Swords. If it came up with a positive card, it would be much more positive. With the Empress, Three of Wands, like, what are you waiting for? So you have everything you need. Like I said, on that King of Pentacles, you have all the talents, gifts, skills, and abilities you need to be successful. So I would get moving. With the Three of Wands, you have the Five of Cups. I feel like past disappointments could be controlling you. I would be careful where you're putting your emotions. You could be crying over spilt milk, but he's crying over these 3 cups, but he needs to turn around and see these 2 cups, because then he'll see this bridge that leads to the castle. So he's also crying because he can't get to the castle, but if he just turned around and he let go of something that he thought he had and saw what he actually does have, he would be much more successful. I would say don't base a new situation coming into your life off of an old one. With the Hierophant, you have the Ace of Cups, and your emotions overflowing. Could be marriage coming in for you, for those of you that want love, that want a connection. Again, the King of Pentacles is a great card for permanent connections. So if you're hoping for something permanent, this could be marriage, or a deep connection coming in for you. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Four Cups. Again, 4 Cups is disappointments. I do feel like some of you are dealing with the second guessing thing that I was talking about with that Five of Wands. It could be because of past disappointments or past failure. I would let that go. And with the Seven of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. Again, I feel like this is your emotional space. I would take your emotions and put it into something. I feel like you could be creating something rather amazing, especially if you're creative or if you do something creative. I would definitely do that. For others, I feel you just feel like you don't have the resources to do something that you want to do. Seven of Wands actually says where there's a will, there's a way, so you can create whatever you want. Again, you have the Sun and the Star here, though. Sun and the Star is fame and fortune. So it doesn't mean you're going to become famous, but, it could represent like a lot of positive attention coming in for you. So this is a pretty good reading here, Gemini. I like it. Definitely some sadness maybe, but I feel like you're kind of moving past that. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.